Hello everyone. Welcome to this series of episodes called Happy Parenting and Teaching. In the last episode, we were talking about the gap between learning and teaching, or the gap between teaching and learning, maybe as the sequence you may like it. Now, the student is interested in learning, the parents are interested in learning, the teachers are also interested that the student should learn. But is the teaching getting converted into learning? I'm going to discuss with you an amazing area which developed in the United States in the late 1970s. It's called NLP. It's called Neuro Linguistic Programming. For a long time, for nearly 30 years, I was heading the personal and human resources functions of a lot of organizations. In the last episode, I was talking about a question: why do we do what we do, and why do we do the way we do it? Like, for example, I'm now addressing in front of a camera. Maybe you are watching. Some of you may be taking notes. Why am I doing what am I doing? So this human behavior, why is the human behavior taking place? Why human behavior A is taking place and not B? Why A behavior is going to do good, why B behavior is exhibiting itself? So NLP, in the next couple of episodes, I'm going to explain the concept of neuro-linguistic programming. Sometime in the late 90s, I had the opportunity of reading a book of Anthony Robbins. The name of the book is called The Unlimited Power. That book gave me a clue as to why do we do what we do and why do we do the way we do it. Now let us take in a classroom. In a classroom, this what is happening is teaching is taking place. There are a set of students. In a classroom of 30-40 students, the teacher is the same, the concept which is explained and taught is the same, but is the learning quality identical with respect to all the 30-40 students? The answer is no. Then why is teaching not converting into learning? Supposing if every teaching is going to become a learning, then there is no problem. You can teach once and then the job is done. But that's not taking place. Two Americans by name Richard Bandler and John Grinder came out with a breakthrough concept that your human behavior is a result of a mental program. Now all of us know a computer. Now, so we have a computer, maybe it is a laptop or a desktop, or it is iPad. You know, what happens in a computer is there is an input, there is a process, and there is an output. So we can explain it by a simple diagram. The diagram is, right, there is a computer here, there is an input, and a process is taking place, and there is an output. So this is input, this is output, this is a process. So if you want a particular output, let us say I need a printout of a particular document, the program is very clear, Control P, and I get the output. Now when I put the input Control P, if I am not getting the output, I don't blame the printer, right? I first go and verify whether I have put the correct input. Did I put Control P or a Shift P or function P? Fine, we'll have to find out. And then I watch whether there is a signal from the computer that it is processing the information that I have given, the data that I have given. If these two things are right, you don't bother about the output. Today, the next room could have a printer, and you give the print here, command here, and you ask your colleague, go pick it up, the print from the next room. Now let us take what's happening in a classroom. In a classroom, we need an outcome. We need an outcome. I call it as, this is, let us say we need an outcome. Now, for that outcome, there has to be a process. And if the process is followed, then outcome has to take place. If the process is wrong, the outcome does not take place. Supposing I want to clap my hand. If I clap my hand, this is the process and you hear the sound. If I make a mistake in the process and I don't clap my hand properly, no matter how much I try, you are not going to get the clap. And so the gap between teaching and learning can be explained that there is maybe we need to improve the process. I was discussing with you a couple of episodes before that a vehicle is not, or an automobile is not produced the same way it was produced years ago. You don't cook the same the way you cooked some 20 years ago. And so we need to transform the classroom. Let me explain the Neuro Linguistic Programming. Neuro represents neurons. Now let us look at the popular theory of how learning is taking place. Now all of us have what is called a brain. And many people think that learning is a brain function. Do you know one thing? That the brain content is identical across the human race. Identical. The location of the brain, the function of the brain, the chemicals, the hormones, the various parts of the brain are identical. When we are born with identical number of neurons, about 160 crores of neurons. Irrespective of caste, creed, racial differences. Now, if brain is going to decide the quality of learning, how can there be a difference? Let us say that we buy a pen. You buy this brand pen, I also buy the same from the same departmental stores. Let us say about 1,000 pens are purchased and given to us as compliment. And 1,000 pens should work the same way. Or we buy about 1,000 mobile phones of the same model. And the mobile phones are manufactured with the same quality standards, quality conditions. And all the phones should work identically. Right? So if you put a redial in your cell phone, if I press the same redial, I should also get the same number? It doesn't happen that way. Why? If brain is going to be responsible for the learning quality, then why is there a difference between the quality of learning identical in an identical teaching environment? So we talked about brain. An identical brain need not result in an identical learning situation. Then where is the variable? We have an interface called mind. Brain is different, mind is different. In a cell phone, it is not the other parts, but there is a SIM card. If I put your SIM card into my mobile phone, I can access all the numbers that you are having. And so the brain is responsible for seeing and hearing, tasting, smell, and the touch feeling, the 5 senses we talk about. We talk about the panchendriyas. But the mind is very, very important. If the mind is here, then I will become sensitive to what is happening. If my mind tells me, look at this with close attention, my eyes will tune up. But the problem in a learning and teaching environment is we depend on the brain, but the mind is absent. In the episodes to follow, I'm going to explain how NLP links the factor called mind with that of brain. Continue to watch.